floating on up. Oh yeah, I gotta hit the sync button now. I'm usually the party leader. Alright.
Suck it, John.
Josh loading in on...
I guess we can't make fun of John anymore by insinuating he doesn't have sex with women or he's a depressive alcoholic.
Oh yeah, when you watch that later, you're gonna hate me.
There's a difference between people fucking around and people actually meaning what they say, because they're insane. I get a fair share of both.
Alright, Chach looks like is right off the bat could be going into that, or rather SonicRose rather could be going right into that breastplate of valor, which is probably the big priority item to get in this matchup. Physical protection, get that mana 25% cooldown. What's not to love?
That's kind of why I chose that
move
for my last match, too. Once you're a mage going up against a physical, you know, there's no harm in picking up Breastplate of Valor. It's kind of one of those items where you feel bad picking it up if it's not going to have that protection against the god, but it has its overall uses. Just having that extra use always makes it one of those must-buy purchases.
On the inverse, seeing Chach picking up that, what do they call it, the first level, the pendant, I think it is. It looks like, though, that's very likely going to be built either, I'd imagine, into a Bulwark of Hope or into Stone of Gaia. Both are going to be extremely effective against the mage like Nuwa.
And Nuwa's one thing, especially with her, is that knowing SonicRose and how she builds, kind of likes dropping most of the minions down to initiate. It kind of puts that extra pressure on. She's getting much better hitting with that 3. And then, of course, she knows how to use that fog to maximum effectiveness, which will probably be a lot of a linchpin in this getting out of things.
And neither god's going to go off for jungle buff, so instead we're just going to see the match start as is.
SonicRose takes an early shot at Chachera with the 3, doesn't really work. Not quite sure what she's doing here, though.
Throwing a lot of mana down at the moment, going through pretty much all of her abilities at once in a quick succession. Now, that is generally how you play Nuwa, but early on, not a whole lot to gain out of it, though. She did manage to get a little bit of harass on Sun Wukong.
She'd pick up the splash damage from using the 3, I believe that's the secondary effect of that move. Sun Wukong also kind of hurting on... Oh, nice jump-in trap. Again, using that fog to get out of there just in time.
That fog is strangely useful, even though it doesn't seem like it would be when you read the ability's description. It's actually very, very useful for getting out of tough situations.
Now, the trickiest thing of it is a lot of people are like, oh look, here's this giant blue circle coming towards me, gee, I wonder where the god is. The key is, you kinda don't know. It's surprisingly difficult to hit a god that's stuck in that fog.
Because it's not based around the middle of the character. It tries to follow that, but as soon as the character starts moving, they can be almost anywhere within that circle. You're even just seeing it right on the over screen here. Anytime she starts moving, she's not dead in the center of that. So it's almost like trying to catch a Loki. You know the general area they're in, but you just can't hit them.
It was a pretty good move on SonicRose there, putting down the fog, kind of taunting, getting Chachera to use that one and drop down. You know, have to force her to use, you know, probably the most effective move of Sun Wukong, especially for harassment, is his 1. And if he's not using it on minions, then that's a pretty easy shot to take down a god with, and that was kind of good just to taunt her, you know, use that up.
Now, she did go down. She put her ult down. Didn't see too much effectiveness out of it right now. She still has the mana advantage, though. Chachera's trying to kind of recover just a little bit in what she has. She's generally seeming to be using for that 1 to wave clear. So, SonicRose has a little bit of advantage right now.
SonicRose also, both of them has picked up meditation. I haven't really kept an eye to see if either of them has used theirs yet.
It does not seem so. Chachera does have her ult up, though doesn't seem to be in any danger of needing to use it, though she is staying in lane to try to protect her tower as much as possible.
Yeah, Sonic's pushing very hard right now. I don't know if it's just for the purposes of kind of putting the pressure on. Over-aggressiveness, what kind of smack talk is going on in the match, if any. All these things are questionable. Oh, was that a successful hit on the 1 in the fog there? Oh, this might turn out bad for SonicRose.
Yeah, she did use that meditation now to get that mana back. Was waiting for an opportunity, managed to chunk down SonicRose, enough that Sonic's going to have to head back, and Chachera's going to remain in lane.
Not entirely a bad move, Chachera, at this point. I think once SonicRose is on the way back, yeah, that would be about the time. I would have kind of stayed in lanes, farmed a little bit more minions, just to get a little bit of a push, put on the pressure, and then get out of there.
And we are seeing, as was expected, SonicRose picked up that Breastplate of Valor. Chachera picked up that Stone of Gaia. So both are building basically against each other's attacks right now. We are seeing SonicRose has also picked up that little spear. So she'll be able to build that likely into an Obsidian Shard, though she might go with the Magic Amulet just to get a little bit of damage and defense in that same item.
Considering Chachera's leading with Stone of Gaia, would probably be her best bet. Not a badly timed ult, but not really there long enough to be too much of a advantage for her at this point.
Well, the situation right now is that neither god has built any real damage in their kit. Because of that, neither's going to be hitting particularly too hard. I mean, the Breastplate of Valor is a great item, but it doesn't provide any magic power to it. So she's relying entirely off of just basic stats at this point. There's a little bit she's getting off of the spear, but not a whole lot.
Oh! Did not expect her to be able to catch her in the fog with the Tiger. Tiger doesn't really do much damage, as you're saying. With all the defensive items being built, no one's really got the kit to attack with yet. There's only so much you can do with that stun from the Tiger. I usually want to try to go for the Tiger, but I find it's probably out of the three the least useful.
Well, it's very helpful to catch down an opponent right in the middle, especially if you're in a one-on-one fight. I mean, stuns are obviously the most effective form of crowd control you can generally find, so people tend to go with it there. But it is a situation here where it's kind of hard to hit, especially with that cloud, but all you need to do is just get close enough, the Tiger will hit that hitbox.
I'll come and go with you.
Stopping long enough to let Sean say something, but we're just going to keep going here then.
Yeah, there was nothing really to say that you guys hadn't covered.
It happens to the third person. Welcome to Third Wheel Land in our commentaries. I'm
It's
saying,
perfectly fine.
if you start talking, I will shut up. Unless I'm in the middle of a sentence. Then there's no stopping me. Oh. Now, if I recall correctly...
SonicRose.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, does that fog not actually work as a heal over time as well?
No, the fog does not. Movement obscures, it adds, I think, a movement speed increase, and then it also does damage over time, but it doesn't heal the people inside of the fog. Now, one thing worth noting, SonicRose is really just planning her abilities. As soon as she has them, she's using them. Now, she's got a big mana pool to work off of here, but it's also worth noting that she's pushing extremely hard. So when Chachera does go in, she's generally able to get a lot of damage in there before things get too bad for her. So Chachera right now is winning the hand on most of the exchanges, but still doesn't seem to be amounted to too much right now because that fog makes it so hard to pick up a kill in Nuwa.
I think with the right combination of hits with SonicRose using the kit effectively, you could probably do some serious damage to Chachera, just kind of making sure that all three land as they should.
And SonicRose actually is going into her third item. I'd imagine that Lost Artifact's probably going to be eventually turned into a Rod of Tahuti. So with 3 items, she still has not picked up any food sets at this point. So she's going to hit very hard, but if she gets caught out of position, Chachera is going to be able to chase her down very easily.
Now, given the movement speed buff and the often amount of time that she does use her one, she may be relying that on more for the movement speed. Kind of focusing all of her power and attacks on her items. Which, let's see.
Chachera perhaps popping that Girl of Might a little soon.
Your middle tower
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. The Girdle of Might is actually somewhat an interesting pickup. I don't see that happen too often, though. I guess in a situation where you're playing a warrior against a squishy mage, you just want to deal that damage as quickly and as efficiently as possible to kind of burst them down before they burst you.
It seems that SonicRose is a lot more adept for taking hits than Chachera is right now as well. Chachera has managed to catch SonicRose in 2 very compromising positions and done some done some attack after attack, but really no effect. Versus Chachera, the one taking 2 or 3 hits from SonicRose is at like quarter health.
Your middle tower is under
I'd be
attack.
interested if we don't see a shield of regrowth come out from Chachera soon, because that's an item that really adds a lot to Sun Wukong's kit, because it enables you to get that HP 5 every time you get hit, gives you magical protection, gives you physical power. It'd be a great item pickup right now. I've seen a lot of times people go in for a fight, pop Sun Wukong's ult, and then let the shield of regrowth just basically heal them back up while they stay in the invulnerable form.
Your middle tower is under attack.
And SonicRose rather is using those minions to great efficiency. She is managing to take down that tower without ever really needing to be prolonged in a combat there.
Let's see, this is one of SonicRose's main strategies. She likes to put on heavy pressure, having the ability to summon minions at any time, and just rush the tower when needed. Now, the unfortunate is that she keeps fighting Chachera under the tower. She has many opportunities where she'd probably be able to burn down Chachera, but just not being able to pull it off in time. Chachera also keeping good an eye on SonicRose's mana pool and knows when the perfect time to jump in is, because she has nothing left.
She is going to force her out of lane, though Chachera doesn't have much mana on her own right now. Not a whole lot of health either, so SonicRose retreat. I wouldn't be shocked if Chachera kills off this lane, then retreats herself.
SonicRose smartly dropping down 3 more minions for her to contend with before running out. And exactly as you said.
Oh, no, this is not what I thought. She actually went with the Chronos Pendant there. That's going to be a little bit of a waste, unfortunately, because the Chronos Pendant is going to actually put her over the cap, so there's a little bit of cooldown reduction being wasted there, and there are better uses of that money in terms of getting magic power for that. So that's a little bit of a strange pickup, though she is going to be able to cap off her magic now.
At that point, Shoes of Focus might have been the better move. Having, the cooldown reduction is nice, but really I think Shoes of Focus, Breastplate of Valor is probably almost a must-buy in this situation. For me, it's either Chronos or Breastplate, depending on how the situation's turning out.
And we're seeing Chachera picking up what looks like the second level of the, I can't read any of the names for some reason, they're not popping up for me, but I think it's like the silver breastplate or something along those
It's
lines.
Steel Mail, but I believe that's probably going to turn into...
That could turn into the Sovereignty, it can turn into Mystical Mail, it could turn into a Mail of Rejuvenation, so it's got a few different options for it. I'm not sure which direction she's going to go with yet, though.
There's also the option of going Nemean Lion there, though I don't believe it would be the smartest counter to this.
No, most of the items you get out of that tree, their big advantage is providing physical protection. Sovereignty is in there, that does provide a good amount of magical protection too, I believe. But I think the better road to go with would be down the shield tree, which is where you find most of your magical protection.
SonicRose always, one of her, like a signature move almost, is to just drop the minions before she recalls. It's just that little extra, damage to have to deal with, a little bit of a shield to have to fight through, is enough to just cause that delay so that there's no real steamroll going on. Chachera, I believe, is probably going to go for a major push on this tower at this point now.
Yeah, SonicRose, or Chachera rather, has been staying in lane longer. She's actually been able to pick up the level advantage over SonicRose. Now, I don't think it's a very significant one at this point. I think SonicRose just needs a little bit longer in there in lane. But it is worth noting she's able to pick that up right now. That Eagle's going to help her escape before she can take any real significant damage from SonicRose. And she managed to put some very big damage in on that tower.
Unfortunately, missing with the ult, though, SonicRose isn't able to actually do any damage to either enemy minions or Chachera with that.
And SonicRose picked up the Hand of the Gods as well, as we just saw that come down by a little extra stun. But it's tough to hit Chachera. That Stone of Gaia just provides so much right now, especially on a warrior like Sun Wukong. It becomes very difficult to really hurt them.
Go forth, my minions.
It's a well-timed Ox knocking SonicRose out of her fog.
To battle, my children.
SonicRose now, or Chachera, being way more aggressive in these fights.
Feel my wrath.
We're 13 minutes into this match and have yet to see a single kill.
Yeah, I mean, these two are basically playing the fight as carefully as possible. They're both trying to deal damage, but it's just so hard to kill one of the other. But Chachera's got some very good defense right now, and SonicRose, because of that one, because of that disengage, because of those minions, she's just so hard to kill.
It may possibly come down, depending on, you know, the risks being taken here and how build it. This might just be one of those matches where it's all up to the minions who can push harder. And right now we do have SonicRose taking down Chachera's first tower.
That's big, a lot of extra money to go into the account right there. She's managing to push down the minions. Chachera's going to have to retreat, throw down those guys, put a little damage on the Phoenix that
is under attack.
Probably recall, or if not, maybe go for a jungle buff while you have the time.
Well, this doesn't look like any recalling's being done. I believe she might just go straight up for damage and probably recall immediately after picking it up. Chachera's picking up Enchanted Ring, which will probably, I believe, burn into Demonic Grip. Definitely to help burn through all his defenses that Chachera keeps putting up.
We are seeing that sovereignty come in, and actually looks like going to be going into what I imagine is going to be a Uton's Wrath with that mallet there. So we're going to see Chachera going in for that cooldown reduction. That's a great item for her. And as you said, yeah, we are getting that that ring in there, and then the pendant, which I imagine might be into Apollonomicon. If not, I forget the other level of item it builds into off the top of my head.
We were right about Demonic Grip being the item she went with. Helping out a little bit right now. Chachera, still with little to no actual attack items, is taking a lot of damage from SonicRose while not being able to dish it out fast enough.
She has a very suffocating style of gameplay going on right now, SonicRose. Not just in terms of that suffocating weight, but the amount of minions she just throws down makes it so hard to really get into an extended battle with her.
Your middle Phoenix is under attack.
It's one of those dangerous things to work with, yeah, just like pulling down entire armies upon Chachera to have to contend with. And she's basically, you know, with Sun Wukong's generally weaker minion clear. Oh, that would have been a well-timed. Unfortunately, doesn't get the fist off or gets her timing for the 3 off.
She manages to hit a 3 there, manages to push Chachera back just a little bit. She has just so much mana to get 10 with. She doesn't even have a meditation upgrade beyond that, but SonicRose just seems to have an infinite pool of mana off of this. Almost picks up a kill there with her fire, but unfortunately Chachera is actually she's staying in lane. She's trapped by the bolt now.
SonicRose may have this if Chachera was feeling, oh, you know, smartly Chachera didn't run, but SonicRose also didn't use that to her advantage to get in there and really choke that point. Instead, she looks to just be making the Phoenix push.
Your team has destroyed a middle enemy Phoenix.
Now, this is probably going to be one of the more dangerous things for Chachera to have to contend with. SonicRose now fully built, dumping armies of minions on. Oh, nice trap.
This actually might be the first kill of the game. As noted, Chachera or SonicRose does not have any boots at this point. Unfortunately, though, she does have a ton of minions and a lot of fucking fog to deal with.
She pretty much chokes down the chase point. At no point was Chachera going to be able to catch up with the amount of fire minions having to deal with, plus her own minions. The Titan is under attack.
Stopped recalling to then throw more minions out.
That's what I mean. She keeps the pressure up. If you don't have a good lane clear going up against Nuwa, especially the way SonicRose plays, you need to make sure that you can keep those minions away from you, because that's her key to the victory. Just constantly having to contend with just minion upon minion, which, you know, if you just ignore those things, they're nothing to sneeze at.
And we see she did go into the Polynomicon, so that's a huge huge extra boost to damage for that attacks, basic attack-centered Nuwa. Picking up what looks like another piece of focus there. I don't know if that's going to be the Spear of the Magus or maybe going into the focus stone, but interesting pickup there.
SonicRose still convinced it has no need for boots at this point, and it seems to be serving her fairly well.
And again, just
Better to
wave
be
after
Titan's
wave
under
of
attack.
those minions. It is absolutely ridiculous to contend with. If you are not somebody who can deal with those minions at a quick rate, I do not understand how you would ever fight against this.
Again, Chachera more focused on SonicRose than the minions at this point.
Well, Chachera's going in. Her ult is down. She's trapped beneath the minion wave. Now SonicRose is going to be suffocating her with that. Misses the 3, unfortunately. That 3 might have been the kill right there. But she is still just pressuring down on her. Now this is in the actual base of Chachera, so she's not going to be able to get away with pressuring down targets while Chachera's in base. She's going to be right there to respond to it. But there's so many minions, she may not be able to do a whole lot there to counter it.
Yeah, at this point, Chachera's just focused on making sure she can keep the minions down while the Titan is just being chipped away at. It's only going to take one kill for SonicRose to secure this.
We might see this battle end without a single kill at this point.
SonicRose recalls into picking the second tier towards Wardstone. Is she going to go Voidstone?
I imagine so. It will give her, unfortunately, magic protection on it isn't going to be very useful, but it does help with giving that magic protection reduction aura, as well as a little boost to magic protection as well. She's picked up a potion of magical strength, or on the other hand, Chachera's picking up what looks to be going into the Executioner's, or not Executioner's, Brutalizer.
Oh.
So getting that little extra damage.
Another well-timed ult by SonicRose versus Chach. This might...
I'll come and go.
Oh, again using her ult to basically escape effectiveness. Now that SonicRose has the Phoenix up, she's probably going to be looking to take that down right away, and she does.
Your team has destroyed a middle enemy Phoenix.
And their Titan's recovering a little bit of health, but once again, just coming in so many minions.
SonicRose dropping the ult on herself for protection, but still moving in for the kill.
Your Titan is under
Yeah,
attack.
she's doing a couple pot shots there from behind that wall. Now throwing in her damage onto the Titan. Fortunately, minions are going to be around her. She's backing up. Chachera's doing her best to try to defend against it, but there are just so many minions to contend with, and that Titan is taking a lot of extra damage.
And SonicRose knows this. SonicRose is focused on making sure that Chachera has to pay attention to her. That she can't just let the minions go by. Because if she sits there and focuses on the minions, then SonicRose is going to pick her off. If
The minions
Chachera...
actually had a little bit of an AI pathing issue. Most of them headed towards the left side, and unfortunately there was nothing there, so they all just kind of stood there while the Titan was stuck on the right side.
Might have been enough to save her at this point.
Yeah, she's picked up that full build of the Void Stone. We're now seeing Chachera's picking up that, as I said, the Executioner, or not the Executioner, whatever that hammer is, Titan's Hammer, Titan's Bane, and going with what looks like it's going to be building in, perhaps into that, could be into the
Cloak of the...
or maybe going into the Magi's Blessing.
Yeah, I think Magi's Blessing would make a lot smarter move than...
Oh, this
of
could be
the...
the kill right there.
Oh!
Wow!
Chachera's going to use that to
Just
escape.
A sliver of health.
Your Titan is under
I
attack.
don't think she can. If she goes back to heal, this may be it for the Titan.
This is it.
That is it. Wow. Very good game by SonicRose. Not a kill in the game, but just an absolute suffocating pressure throughout that entire match.